preacher in the house.
Amen.
In the absence of our pastor and our first lady, it's just good to know that he has help. The person coming before you this morning is a friend. We have a lot in common. We're both the husband of one wife. I know, you gotta say that right now. You gotta say that today. One wife. We're both Air Force veterans. Your preacher this morning has served over 35 plus years as an educator here in the valley. And I just found out recently, at one time we were both police officers. Are we related?
Everybody?
So if you would, I'm going to ask that you stand just for a moment. Raise your right hand as we bring forward our newest family member. None other than Reverend Reginald Powell. Amen.
Nobody understands. When my wife can't console me, I can't call up mama and I can't call up dad. Praise is what I do. Well, yes, it is. It's what I do. Because can't nobody do you like Jesus. Can't nobody fix the problem like Jesus. Can't nobody understand like Jesus. Praise is what I do. Oh yes, it's what I do. Father God, we come. Master, in this time and in this hour. Speak, Lord Jesus. Use your servant for your glory.
Yes.
Speak to us. For you know the word that you want us to hear. Open our hearts and our minds to you. And bless in Jesus' name. Speak, Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Speak, Lord Jesus. Speak, Lord Jesus. Go before me and stand for you. Speak to your people in the words that you want me to say. Guide and direct and bless. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Praises to our pastor in his absence, and Pastor Croom, and to all of God's people. There is a word from the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
We ask that you would stand with me. There's a word from the Lord. Ask that you would just pray with me as God used me for his glory. Amen?
Amen.
You have your Bibles, if you would turn to the book of Luke. Chapter 15, verses 3 through 7. There is a word from the Lord. Amen. If you have, say amen. If not, we'll wait. God is able to do just what he said he will do. From the book of Luke, chapter 15, verse 3 and 7, it thus says, Then all the tax collectors and the sinners drew near to him to hear him. And the Pharisees and the scribes complained, saying, This man receives sinners and eat with them. So he spoke this parable to them, saying, What man of you, having 100 sheep, if you lose one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one which is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulder, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and neighbors, saying to them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. I say to you that likewise there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 just persons who need no repentance.
All right.
If you would just bear with me for a few minutes, I want to talk about Jesus cares for the lost. Now I know somebody that's going and saying, well, I want to see what he's going to do. Don't look at what I'm going to do. Listen to what God has to say.
Say that. Say that.
God, this is not about me. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody. I can't do anything for you, but Jesus can do everything for you. I might could help you out in some situations, but Jesus can help you out in everything. Jesus cares for the lost. To understand this parable, there are 3 parables in the Bible about lost, but we're going to talk about just this one today. Amen?
Amen.
You all just pray with me for a few minutes. In this parable, Jesus addresses some skeptics. And these skeptics, believe it or not, were church folk.
Come on. Uh-oh.
Amen? And it says, and tax collectors and the sinners, he sat with them, and the Pharisees and the scribes all start complaining. Look at this man. Look who he's dealing with. Look who he's associating with. Gotta be something wrong there.
Come on.
Because he's supposed to be a man of God. Let me explain something to you. You ain't all that yourself.
All right. All right. Uh-oh. Don't hurt him now.
I'm just going to give you what God gave you.
All right.
Somewhere in your life, you have been lost.
Yes.
Jesus cares for the lost.
Yeah.
This passage is given for us to have an understanding of what it means to be lost and have Jesus as our rescue.
All right.
Everybody with me so far? To understand this passage, I want you to understand, first of all, what does it mean to be lost? Anybody out here ever been lost?
Yeah.
Now, maybe some of you guys may be like me, we hate to admit when we're lost.
Yeah.
Wife said, you should have turned here, and you go, well, just be quiet, I know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
And you know you lost, right? But yet you don't want to admit it. And that's where we are sometimes in our Christian walk. We're lost and we just don't want to admit the fact that we're lost. So why we try to pretend we know what we're doing.
Come on.
But what we need to understand is that you cannot fool God.
Right.
When you are lost, When you're lost and you refuse to accept the fact that you're lost, the thing that's going to happen is you're going to get yourself into even more trouble. Because you have no idea where you're going. So let's look at this passage. To understand this story, we need to understand, because this passage is about lost sheep. Now, why is that so important to understand? Well, in order to understand that, we need to understand the difference between a shepherd and a sheep and how the relationship works. Because if you look in your Bible, the Bible compares Jesus and the Lord God as our good shepherd. Yes. So if you don't know the relationship between a shepherd and a sheep, you're going to miss the message, right? So I want you to understand the relationship between a sheep and a shepherd, so you'll understand that Jesus caring for the lost means he's caring for you as his sheep. We are his flock, and he is our overseer, he is our guide, he is our director, and he is the good shepherd.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
But let's look at this. The passage says, the shepherd goes after the lost sheep, and he leaves the 99 behind. Now, why would you leave 99 sheep just to go find one? Let's understand the relationship that a shepherd has with his sheep. To understand what this is all about, we have to look at a shepherd and how a shepherd is mentioned and how his relationship with the sheep takes place. We know that when you get lost, you have no direction, you can't find your way back, and there's no sense and hope, and you're in great danger. So a shepherd understands that about his sheep, because the shepherd knows that his sheep is lost, and that sheep is in danger, and when that sheep is in danger and can't find its way back to the flock, somebody has to be there to direct it.
Amen.
All right.
But why leave the 99? Because if you are a good shepherd,
Come on.
listen to what I'm saying here. If you are a good shepherd, a good shepherd cares for not just 99, but he cares for the 100 just as much as he cares for the other 99. How do I know that? Let's look at this. Shepherd is mentioned numerous times in the Bible. The psalmist David said, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. What this tells me is that David was looking at God as being everything that he needed and someone to supply his every need.
Yes, sir.
A shepherd relationship to a sheep is simply this. If you know anything about a shepherd always makes sure that his sheep has the best pasture. He makes sure that when they are thirsty, they have the best water to drink.
I hear you.
Yeah.
When it's cold outside, he makes sure they're brought in.
Yeah.
He makes sure that when danger arrives, he stands between his sheep and himself.
Yes, all right.
The danger that his sheep face is his most concern, because the sheep are docile animals and they can't really protect themselves. So the shepherd takes on the relationship, and the shepherd is at such a point that his flock is so important that the shepherd will lay down his own life for his sheep.
Come on.
Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The Bible explains that a shepherd will go after his lost sheep.
That's right.
The shepherd often uses many great clauses to explain the relationship with the sheep. Somebody asks him, well, why do you do so much, and why do you care so much about your sheep? The shepherd says, I got 3 points. I love them, I protect them, and I make sure they're cared for.
Yeah.
This is what we need to understand. A shepherd and his sheep have a one-on-one relationship. And it says some shepherds go forth to give their sheep names because the sheep respond to the shepherd.
That's right.
So we need to understand what a shepherd and a sheep have in common and their relationship in order to understand why Jesus is saying, I am the good shepherd and I care for my sheep, and why Jesus searches out the lost. Shepherds in the Bible If you know anything about shepherds in the Bible, you know that Abraham was a shepherd.
Right, right.
Amen.
King David was a shepherd.
Uh-huh.
Moses was a shepherd.
That's right.
Shepherds are important people because shepherds set an example of what it means to care, love, and understand something and somebody.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
In dry seasons, shepherds might move their flocks to a coastal plain or a village where there's better grass.
Yes.
When the rain begins, shepherds may take their flock and move them indoors where they won't get wet and drenched, because you have to understand that shepherds have wool and shepherds are easily drowned if they get wet. All these things the shepherd does because the shepherd knows the characteristics of his sheep.
All right.
God knows the characteristics of us.
Yes, he does.
So I don't want to bore you. I'm going to get on with this now. So you wonder why I said and chose the topic, Jesus cares for the lost sheep? I'm going to go through 3 points right here. 3 points and I'll be out of your way. 3 points I want you to look at is Jesus' concern for lost sheep.
Uh-huh.
The shepherd carries the lost sheep back to safety.
Yeah, yeah.
And the third point I want you to understand is that the celebration of being rescued.
Yeah. Come on. That's good.
Amen.
Everybody gonna go with that.
Yeah, that's good, sir.
You have to understand that those 3 points are valued in this story because, number one, we need to understand what God really does and cares about us.
Yeah.
Jesus in this parable here was telling the people that there is a relationship between me and my flock. And they are very important to me, and there is nothing that I will not do to make sure that my lost sheep find their way back to the flock so that they can be cared for, loved, and protected. And I will go out of my way to make sure that none are lost. Our first point, Jesus' concern for the lost sheep. Verse 4 says, what man of you having 100 sheep, if he loses one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one which is lost until he finds it? The first thing that we have to understand is that God has a loving concern for every lost individual.
Amen.
Not like some of us. I've been in this church business since I was a little boy. And I've been around pastors and preachers since I was born. I grew up in a house full of ministers. And I understand church folks sometimes how they can look at you and they can smile in your face and lie behind your back. But the thing I need you to understand right now is that Jesus does not care about how people see you. Jesus cares about how he sees you. And when we are in a situation and in a circumstance where we are lost, God cares about our condition. Why is that? First of all, God is a loving God, and he's concerned about every person and every effort and every situation and every soul out there in this world.
All right.
God cares about each and every one of us. Why is that? Luke 19:10 says, for God, the Son of Man, is come to seek and save that which is lost.
Yes, sir.
He has come to seek and save that which is lost.
That's right.
Now, why did I say that again? Because some of us don't want to admit we're lost.
That's right. That's right.
Come on.
Some of us don't want to admit we're lost.
Right.
And if you want to make up in your mind that you are not lost, then you're not going to make up in your mind you want to seek Jesus. Because if you are lost and you're truly admitting that you're lost and you truly want direction to get on the right path, you're going to seek out somebody that can help you to get back on the right track.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Amen.
Need some help.
Have you ever seen anybody who don't want to admit they're lost? Have you ever noticed? And what happens when you try to give them direction? Oh, I know where I'm going. You don't have to tell me.
Right.
You ever had anybody tell you that? Why are you trying to tell me where to go? I'm not lost. Now I had a guy tell me, well, I don't need no direction from anybody. I got my GPS.
Come on.
Well, let me tell you something. That GPS is made by man.
All right.
Woo!
Right.
Amen.
And guess what? It's subject to fail.
It does. It does.
But I'm here this morning to tell you that if you depend on Jesus in your lost situation, in your lost state, I guarantee you there is someone who will never fail you, never leave you, and never let you down. Anything man has created is eventually going to fail.
Come on. Preach.
So we look at this. God has come to seek those that are lost. In John chapter 10, verse 11 to 16, it says, I am the good shepherd. A good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. The hired hand does not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons his sheep and runs away.
Come on. Come on.
Now, how many of you know somebody that when you get in trouble, all they're going to do is take off? When danger comes, they're going to leave you all by yourself. Anybody out here want somebody like that? But I'm here this morning to tell you that Jesus cares for the lost sheep, and Jesus cares for you because if the danger gets in the way, you have to understand that God is not going to walk away. He's not going to leave you. He's not going to leave you by yourself. And it doesn't matter what time of day, what time of night, if you call him, he will be right there.
All right.
I've had some of them friends that if you call them at midnight, well, I'll talk to you in the morning. Anybody know anybody like that? Do you know how late it is?
Right.
Come on.
But we need to understand that God cares for his sheep because he understands that there is no time of day or night that you cannot get in trouble.
All right. All right.
I'm here to tell you this morning, Satan's busy.
Yeah.
Satan ain't going to say, I'm going to wait and bother you in the morning because it's midnight.
All right. Come on.
If he sees an opportunity and he has an opportunity and he catches you at your weakest moment, he doesn't care whether it's midnight, whether it's 8 o'clock, whether it's 12 o'clock, whether it's 1 o'clock in the day. Whatever he finds the opportunity that he might be able to test you, Satan's going to jump right in. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
I know God is able.
Yes.
I've been there and I've been through the situation and I'm not ashamed to admit that I've lost my way sometimes.
Yeah.
Amen.
All right. All right.
Amen.
I'm not the only one.
No.
But I want you to understand that this is saying Jesus' concern for the lost sheep means that if he has you in his care and you stray away and you make a mistake, God is not going to say, okay, I'm done with you.
That's right.
God is going to walk right in the middle of your situation and he's going to say, if you give me an opportunity and you seek me out and you turn your way down, I will be right there to support you, protect you, love you, carry you, and love you right back into the kingdom. I had an experience. And we know all about how people can act overpowered, right?
Come on.
And I had an experience. A lot of you know I do a lot of work with the state and international and all this kind of stuff. And I got selected to a position, and the lady that had the position before me, she got all upset and she said, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to help you out. I'm not going to do anything. And she wanted to set me up for failure.
Did it happen? Yeah.
But God is good.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Because guess what happened? When she walked out, 4 more people walked in and said, what do you need me to do? I said, God, I'm here. I didn't ask nobody. I said, God, you know what I need, and you know what I need in this situation.
Yes,
Amen.
I'm lost here. I have no sense of direction because she refused to help me to understand what I need to do. Lord, I need you.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the first meeting that I presided over, it took them from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening to get it done. I did my first meeting and we were finished at lunchtime and everybody went home. Guess what? Those 4 people walked in and they said, here's what needs to be done. We'll run this part for you. We'll run this part for you. We'll run this part for you. All you need to do is just preside over what we're doing.
Wow.
That's how good God is.
Yes. Yes.
And when you're lost, and I guarantee you, if you call on God, God will supply your every need in the midst of your circumstances. Jesus is concerned for his lost sheep. The shepherd was concerned for his lost sheep.
Yes, yes.
God has a care for you. He does not want you to be lost, and he does not want you to suffer, and he does not want you to go without.
All right. Amen.
But the problem is, we need to admit we're lost.
Yes. Yes.
Let me say that again. The problem is, we need to admit we are lost.
Amen. Amen.
We need to get rid of this pride thing and stop trying to puff up our chest and make life on our own because you can't do it.
Amen. Amen.
Jesus cares for the lost sheep. There is no situation or circumstances in your life that God cannot handle, God cannot preside over, and God cannot fix. But you have to realize and expect and understand that you have a problem, and you have to admit that problem to God, because if you don't, you're not going to make it through.
All right.
He cares for the lost. How do I know that? Because he died on Calvary's cross for me.
That's right.
Amen.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Jesus cares for the lost sheep. Just as the shepherd left the 99. Because the one was just as valuable.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
This is what I just said. Jesus, the shepherd left the 99 because the one was just as valuable as the other 99.
Amen.
He didn't say, well, I got 99, I won't care about that one. I don't need to go get it, I got 99 more. Christ said, I got all of you all, but that one out there still needs my love, my attention, my power, and my salvation.
Yes.
That's good.
And if you expect me to love you, I'm going to love them just the same.
That's right. That's right.
Amen.
That's what's wrong with a lot of our families.
All right. Come on.
I come up 12 siblings. One thing Mom and Dad taught us that you don't ever discount family.
Yeah.
Come on.
It doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter what they go through, it doesn't matter what they say, you love them instead.
That's right.
Make it plain. Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
Man.
Now, it's not that we're perfect. It's not that we don't have arguments. It's not that we don't have disagreements. But I guarantee you, you can ask my wife, when you go down home to Louisiana on Sunday, you'll find every one of my family members at somebody's house talking about what God has done for them.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that.
And people say, why do y'all get together? Because mom and dad taught us that God loves family.
Yeah, yeah.
And family ought to love family.
Amen.
And if we got a problem, we'll talk about it after we finish eating and after we get home.
Amen.
You don't bring the problem into the situation where we're rejoicing together.
Come on.
You don't bring the problem into the situation where we're rejoicing together. You keep the problem there. But when it's time to come together and love and understand and support each other, you need to be there.
Yeah.
Amen.
I hear you.
That's Jesus teaching about how he cares for the lost.
Come on.
Second point, now, I'm going to be out of here.
Preaching that.
The shepherd carries the lost back to safety. Verse 5 says that when he found it, he laid it on his shoulders, rejoicing.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about when you see a picture of a shepherd carrying a sheep? Anybody ever seen this picture now? You see pictures of shepherds and they have the sheep wrapped around their shoulders and they're carrying it back to safety. The Bible says, and the explanation says that he carries them back because he knows that the sheep has been lost, he knows that the sheep has been struggling, and he knows that the sheep has had a hard time, and he carries the weight of the sheep
Yes. Yes.
on his shoulder to make sure that the sheep makes it back.
I hear you.
He said he puts the sheep on his shoulder for two reasons.
Well, come on. Clear it.
The sheep has got lost.
Ah.
The sheep has been weary.
Yeah, yeah.
The sheep is worn out.
Yeah, yeah,
It's tired. It's not able to support itself because it's been struggling. And he puts it on his shoulder, carries it back to safety.
All right.
Yeah, thank God for the show.
How many times have you been had to be carried by people? But in today's version, and sometimes you might see it whereas you see a picture of a sheep on a shepherd's shoulder, and some of those people say, well, he broke his leg. Somebody goes, what? Yeah. But guess why the shepherd sometimes breaks the sheep's leg?
Come on, teach.
Wow.
Come on.
The shepherd breaks the sheep's leg simply because he knows that the sheep is in danger, and if the sheep can't walk away, he can protect it. Somebody might say, oh, that's abuse. Somebody say, even though there's no biblical content to support the breaking of the sheep's leg, but there is a biblical content that says this. God allows your sinful nature and your circumstances sometimes to put you in situations where you don't want to be because you are not following and listening to his direction.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. God allows, I've heard people say it all the time. Well, Lord, why is this happening to me? It's happening to you because you chose to stray away from the flock. And in order to get your attention and bring you back, God has to sometimes let you have your own way so you will understand his way.
Yes, sir.
The broken leg is a physical thing. But God allowing your sinful ways and your disobedience to get you in trouble is a spiritual thing.
All right.
I'm not saying I'm all that good. I got some broken legs that I have to heal. Anybody out there hear me? Anybody out there hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I've had some broken legs because sometimes I had to do my own thing and God said, nah.
It went too far. Yeah.
I can do this. I can do this. And nobody can tell me different. Yeah, I can tell you different because when you let yourself get yourself in trouble and you start following yourself and you put God second, you're going to get in trouble. Anybody out there know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Anybody out there know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How many of you have had some broken legs because you did what you wanted to do? How many of you have let your own self get you in trouble and take you away from God and do things you know you weren't supposed to do? A lot of us get lost because we try to follow our own direction. The shepherd carries the lost sheep back to safety. He carries you back to safety because he wants you to understand that it does not matter how far you go. It doesn't matter how much you mess up. He wants you to know that you are still loved. You are still cared for. You are still important to him. And he will put you on his shoulders so that you know that I can carry the weight of whatever you have done and still make you move forward.
Yes, sir.
There's no burden that God can't bear. You might have messed up, but God's the God who can clean you up.
Right.
God's the God who can take your mistakes and make them triumphs.
Oh, I like that.
God is the God who can take a mess up and make it a fix up. Anybody know what I'm talking about? So when you get out there and you break that leg, don't start blaming God. Look at who broke the leg and why the leg was broken. Because you probably would not have broken the leg if you had not won it off.
All right.
This is so many times the sheep wander.
Yes, sir.
And it becomes a repeated pattern.
Well, that's the issue.
Anybody know what I'm talking about? He said, well, why would the sheep keep wandering? My question is, why do you keep making the same mistake?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You ask the shepherd, well, why do you keep going after that sheep? It keeps wandering. Every time you bring it back, it wanders off again, and you still go back and get it. Why does Christ keep coming after you every time you make a mistake?
All right. Coming back. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Because he loves
Yes.
and he cares for his flock.
Amen.
He brings you to a point where he can love you, protect you, and care for you. And when you cannot walk because of your broken leg, when you cannot walk because you're weary and you're tired, when you cannot walk because you have a burden so big that you can't carry, guess what? God picks you up and puts you on his shoulder, and he carries you right on back to sleep.
Amen.
Why does he do that? Because God loves you.
Yes.
And this teaches the sheep that the shepherd loves them enough that it does not matter how often they wander. They know that if I mess up enough, I still got the shepherd's blessing.
Yes.
But the thing is, we have to remember and admit we're lost. That's the point right there, remember? We have to admit to ourselves when we are lost. I can't tell you. You can't tell me. But any and everybody sitting here this morning, and including myself, we know when we're messed up.
Amen. Amen.
Even before we get through doing what we're doing, we already know.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Amen.
How many of you have been to the point you messing up and you go, oh Lord, I knew I messed up.
Yeah.
But yet, you find yourself in the same situation. God comes and he said, I will bear your burdens. I will pick you up, I will turn you around, I will place your feet on solid ground. He will pick you up on his shoulders, even in your lost state, and carry you back to safety.
Amen. Amen.
He carries you because he loves you. He cherishes you. And he wants you to be protected in his love. That's why the shepherd carried the sheep. They carried the sheep because they wanted their sheep to understand that they were loved, cared for, and protected. God carries you through your situation, through your circumstances, through your mess up, because he wants you to understand that you are loved, cared for, and cherished.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
Can't nobody do you like Jesus.
All right.
Amen.
I mean, you've had family members say, I'm tired of you, I'm done. I mean, you've had friends say, you're not messed up enough. I'm not doing anything else for you. Anybody been there?
Yeah.
Anybody been there?
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of you. Every time I turn around, you in some kind of trouble, right? But I know a man who's able to just take you and pick you up and carry whatever burdens you may have and tell you, I still love you. You're still my child. You're still part of my flock. And whatever you've done, it's all right because I got the power to move and change you. I'm not trying to make anybody shout. I'm trying to make you understand.
Come on now.
Jesus cares for the lost.
Yes.
Our third and final point is this. And I'm going to get out of your way. It says, the celebration of being rescued.
Wow.
And when he had come home, he called together his friends and his neighbors, saying to them, rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. I say to you likewise, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 just persons who needs no repentance.
All right.
Finally, in the parable of the lost sheep is offered an extraordinary glimpse of heaven's emotions. In this last part of this passage, the shepherd calls his friends together, saying, rejoice with me. The rescue of the lost sheep was called a proclamation of celebration. God said, it is my desire that none should be lost.
Amen.
It is my desire that none should be lost. And in doing so, when he finds the one that was lost, he brings that back and he tells everybody around him, I want you to celebrate with me because that which was lost is now found.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.
I got 99 sheep here who've been behaving and doing what they want to do and doing what they're supposed to do. But guess what? I'm rejoicing because I got that one who's faded away. And now I can bring him in and he can mix in with the fold that is here. And everybody will be on the same accord.
Amen. Amen.
I'm rejoicing because I got 100 sheep.
All right.
And that 100 sheep are mine.
Yes.
They all know my love. They all know my understanding. They all know my wisdom and my characteristics. But all of this is just to say one thing. God has been a good shepherd.
Yes, sir.
God is still a good shepherd. And if you know anything about being lost, everybody that gets lost wants a rescue. Am I right? If you're out there and you're lost and you don't know where you're going, you want a rescue, right?
That's right. That's right.
God is a rescuer. When man fails you and man puts you down, God is a rescuer. And the reason why I told you all that is I want you to understand this point. And I'm finished with you. When you have a problem in this world, and things get rough, and you think that you have a problem that can be solved, you get lost out there in the mountains. Go up in the mountains up there. You get lost, what's the first thing you do? You try to call 911, am I right? Am I right? Man, you be searching for that phone, you be trying to get a signal and everything else. Anything that you can to get a hold of 911 so somebody can come find you, am I right? But I got something for you this morning. When you are spiritually lost, you can't call 911. You can't call your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your neighbor, your friend. You can't call 911 when you're spiritually lost. But I got something for you this morning. When you're lost this morning, I got a remedy for you. How do you get rescued when you're spiritually lost? There's a number you can dial. When you get spiritually lost, I want you to reach down in your heart. Dial 111. 111. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. Dial 111. Dial 111. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. When you call 111, the rescue team gets into action. They get into action. They hear your call. They hear your voice. God the Father. Tell God the Son. Tell God the Holy Ghost. We need to go get our job. And how do they do that? They have equipment. They have equipment that nobody else can use. They don't need a letter. They don't need an airplane. They don't need a helicopter. 111 steps out in love. They don't have to worry about where to fly. They don't have to worry about where to go. They already know where you are. And 111, they take love and they drop down love right where you are standing, right where you are lost. And they wrap you up in love. And when they wrap you up in love, you can't go nowhere. They wrap you up in love. And let me tell you why they wrap you up in love. They wrap you up in love because that is what Jesus did for you.
Right.
He wrapped you up in love. How do I know he wrapped you up in love? Because the Bible tells me that early on Friday. I'm about finished here. One Friday evening, he took love and he hung out on an old rugged cross. He hung out there because he loved a wretched soul like me. He hung out there on Calvary's cross. His love wrapped me up in his love. He hung on Calvary's cross, bled and died, put his head in along his shoulder. He died on Calvary's cross for my wretched soul. 911 couldn't do me no good, but 111 came to my rescue. I was lost. I was headed to hell. But 111 was the love of God. And he died on Calvary's cross. But to make sure that I stayed rescued early Sunday morning. Y'all understand what I'm talking about. Early Sunday morning. 111 got up out of his grave and said the rescue is finished. It's done. You are mine for eternity. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody love me like Jesus. Ain't nobody rock me like Jesus. Ain't nobody love me like Jesus. He died on Calvary's cross for my sin, your sin. I'm on Calvary's cross. Stayed in the bar too. All night Friday night. All day Saturday. Early. Early one Sunday morning. My Lord. My Savior. My 111. Got up out of the grave. Stepped out on the ground. And said, it's finished. It's finished. Your rescue has been completed. You're now saved for eternity. Anybody out there know what I'm talking about? It was by his grace, by his mercy. Can't nobody like Jesus. Ain't nobody hold me like Jesus. Ain't nobody good enough to rescue you like Jesus.
Amen, amen.
When you admit your loss and you can't find your way back to it, all you gotta do is open your heart and say 111. Call 111. And I guarantee you, if you call 111, love will drop down and rescue you. For His grace
Give me love.
and His mercy.
Yes.
His grace
Yes.
and His mercy.
Yes.
Not because you've been good. Not because you've been so wonderful. But because of His grace and His mercy. Your grace and mercy, Lord.
Yes.
For me through. I'm living this moment, Lord. Because of you. I want to thank you and praise you too for your grace and mercy. Brought me your grace and mercy brought me through. Come on, living this moment because of you. I want to thank our Lord God and praise you for your grace and mercy. Listen. Thank you for saving
Yeah. Yeah.
sinners like me. To tell the world that salvation is free. I once was blind, but now I see. For your grace and mercy. Here this morning. If you're here this morning and you're in need of God's grace and His mercy, if you're here this morning and you know you're lost and you know you made some mistakes, if you're here this morning and you're going through something right now, I want to tell you that there's a shepherd who can rescue your situation. There's a shepherd who will love you and carry you on his shoulder and bring you back to safety. All you got to do is come to the front and say, I want to call 911. But it doesn't work, so I'm telling you to call 111. If you're here this morning, if you're going through something, if you're having trouble and you're having problems and you don't understand, come on and let Jesus rescue you. If you will know that there are people out there who are trying to put you down, and people trying to misuse you, and people trying to keep you from having a good life, all you got to do is come to Jesus right now. He said, I'm going to love you, not judge you. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You're here this morning. That's the way I want. That's a love that you can never get rid of. That's a love that's powerful enough to bring you out of any trouble or problems that you're in right now. That's a love that's strong enough that it can carry you through your worst burdens and your worst heartaches and your worst pain. That's a love that's bigger than anything that this world can formed against you. All you got to do is come to Jesus right now. The Lord, I'm coming. I'm coming because I know you care for your lost sheep. I've made some mistakes. I've messed up. I know I've done some things that I shouldn't have done, but Lord, I'm coming to you because I want to find my way back. And I know you're able. You're here this morning and you just need prayer. Now's the time to come. You're here this morning. And you're without a church home. Come. The rescue team is waiting. 111 is saying, all I need you to do is call. I got enough love that I can cover any problem or any situation you're in, and I can make it better. All you got to do is come. I want to play. Oh, yes, yes. I'm a witness. Because I stand before you this morning because I know I called 111. I can talk to you because I've been through it.
Right, right.
Alcoholism, suicide, homeless. But when I call 111, when I call 111, I got an immediate answer full of love, and he brought me to safety. Would that be enough? Would that be enough? Oh, yeah. All things living this world. What I want to know. I praise you for your grace and justice and
Yeah.
that I should die. But grace and mercy said, no. I've already paid the price. I'm what blind was, but now I see. For your grace and mercy, oh yes, you are. Your grace and mercy, all things. Oh Lord, let me call. Oh, I just want to thank you, Lord. You didn't have to do it, Jesus. Oh, you reached down in the ground and got me.
Amen.
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 God is a good God. David said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.